What's up, guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Brittany. If you guys don't know me from TikTok or Instagram or even here on YouTube, you might even know me from Facebook. But I'm so happy to be back on YouTube. I know we haven't done videos in a long time. We have been moving. We bought a house. It has just been crazy. Paxton had his second birthday, but I figured that I would do an updated Q&A for you guys. I posted the little sticker on my Instagram and Facebook story for you guys to answer and give me your guys' questions, because we have had so many new friends lately that have all of the same questions, and I haven't done one in a while, and my views have changed as a parent or just in general about a lot of things, and I figured that it would just be the best time to give an updated one. Now that I know a little bit more, I'm not as naive or, you know, just a new one. Before we get into it, I did just want to point out that this video is sponsored by Teamy. These are my Teamy greens. This is their superfoods blend. It is my favorite, literally. I've used it for the last year and a half. So this specific product right here, the greens, it is all vegan, all natural. It has no artificial coloring or flavoring, no chemicals. It promotes natural energy, helps with your metabolism, and it helps with your belly bloat. It's an anti-inflammatory, a natural anti-inflammatory, which we know we all love. You know, you can mix it with water. A juice is what I personally do. You can put it in a smoothie. You can mix it with your pancakes or your oatmeal, whatever you prefer to do. I think that my favorite part about the greens is that it gives me all of my nutrients and my vegetables in a drink. I don't have to worry about sitting down and eating anything. As a toddler mom, you know, we don't have much time to eat anything at all unless we're sharing our meals with our child. 120%, go ahead and check it out. The link will be right there. You can use my discount code. It is 20Nolte for 20% off. And it also comes with super cute tumblers. I'll bring it up here in a little bit. I already drank my superfoods this morning, so it's dirty, but I will add it in here towards the end of the video. Let's get into our Q&As, shall we? I'm just going to be reading the responses off of my iPad and then answering the ones that I feel like are the most common. How do we practice sign language? Do we join sign language classes or groups? So I practice with social media. You guys help me a lot by correcting me or telling me a word that I don't know. I use YouTube, but I mean, for me, I sign to Paxton every day, so that's kind of my practice. My husband, same thing. We had a sign class that was once a week. It was hard because it was on a video, it was Zoom, it was like school. Some people were more advanced, they were ahead. Some people were very new. I had a hard time fitting in. We tried, and then the classes just didn't fit with our schedule. So yeah. Okay, so a second CI, will Paxton need one? So how deaf is he? Paxton's CIs were bilaterally implanted. So Paxton has both cochlear implants on each side. As for Paxton's deafness, he is completely deaf. When talking to my son, if I don't know a sign word, what happened? If I don't know a word, I just look it up or finger spell it. Paxton doesn't know how to spell or read. obviously, but I still do it anyways. So this is a very common question. Sign language, did I know it or no? Yes, I knew basic sign language. So the ABCs, or I guess people would call it like baby sign. So like mom, dad, please, thank you, sorry, etc. Do we have family that are deaf or hard of hearing? My mom is hard of hearing, but was diagnosed as an adult after being discharged from the army. So again, not genetic from what we know. Will Paxton go to a school for the deaf or hearing? Paxton will be homeschooled. My husband and I decided homeschooling before Paxton was even born. When Paxton is older, he can decide if he wants to go to school for the deaf or hearing school. Be his decision, not ours. Paxton, how did he become deaf? We don't know. First, got told that it was CMV, that it was asymptomatic, and that deaf was his only symptom. Later, we were told that CMV could not be the reason. Genetic testing, we were given the option. We just decided not to. So we didn't care. Paxton had many surgeries and tests and doctor appointments. Like, we were just done. We didn't want to make him go through more, do more. If he wants it when he's older, yes, we'll give it to him. But he was only one. That's a lot for a 1-year-old to go through. Sign language, can I teach you? Nope. I'm not fluent. I'm not deaf. I'm not a teacher. I'm not comfortable teaching people a language I don't know. I know words. I still make mistakes. I still am learning myself. There are many deaf creators that teach or have classes or have YouTube videos that teach. I personally can't. Do I think that sign language should be taught in school as a second language? Yeah, I do. If other countries teach English from grade 1, why does American schools not teach sign language when it's our language? Like, I don't know why it's not, or why it's a choice. It shouldn't be. No. Sign language should be taught in school from the start. That's all. Sorry. That question makes me mad because it just doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. Paxton, does he have a favorite sign? I think he has a few. Paxton uses poop to avoid being told what to do. He likes to use bubble, but I think it's just because he likes bubbles. He likes to tell me no. He'll look at you and he'll go, no, 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 no. And I'm like, don't tell me no. His favorite movie right now is Toy Story. Another common question is, how did I learn sign language? And where can people start? When I started to learn after Paxton's diagnosis, we had what's called early intervention services, or birth to 3. And they help with sign language, give you resources to learn sign, providers that can teach sign, classes that are free to the parents, groups that you can join into. They're very helpful at first. At some point, I passed my teachers, was told I was too advanced for their providers. I tried a new provider who was deaf that could help teach me better, to push me harder, but unfortunately the provider didn't show up. They missed our appointment. I didn't want to keep trying with them specifically. I decided that if I was gonna learn sign language and go to school and take classes, I wanted to become an interpreter. That way I can teach and I can interpret for Paxton correctly, and I learn all of the deaf community and the culture. How do you learn sign language? You take a class. I decided that I wanted to be the best for Paxton, and the only way to do that is go to school. So where can people start learning sign language? YouTube, TikTok, an actual class. I know we don't have the time to go to school. I know. So YouTube, Bill Vickers has lessons. He's really amazing, really easy. It's like ASL 1 and then ASL 2 and ASL 3, or many deaf creators on TikTok have classes online. They offer Zoom or programs. I love that people ask that because it shows you want to learn. And I love that. There's one part about that question that I don't like, because you can ask Google. That's what I did. I used Google or YouTube or TikTok. It's really not hard to find classes or websites or even apps. You just type in sign language or classes or free classes, free sign videos. Paxton, does he talk? Yep, he does. It's still baby talk, so mom and dad really only know what he's saying. One thing I learned recently, I listen for like proper enunciation when he says a word. I quickly realized Paxton's not gonna sound the same as hearing kids, that he has a deaf accent, and that maybe he's saying more words and they just sound different. But yeah, he talks a lot. It's more me figuring out what he's saying and trying to understand what he hears and how it changes his pronunciation. People that sign, is it hard or easy for me to understand? It kind of depends. I'm still learning the structures of sign language. I sign with English because it just is helping me learn the words. I'm still learning the structure, so when other people are signing, I maybe don't know the word, or it's hard for me to put the sentence together when trying to understand other people signing. In my brain, understanding them is like a story problem. I have to pick the pieces and the parts out and think of every word and restructure the sentence in English to understand. I don't know if that even makes sense. But yeah, it's hard. That's just part of learning a new language. That's why I chose to go to school and become an interpreter. So I don't have that problem when Paxton is signing to me. I want to be able to be his teacher and be good at it. But anyways, Paxton is crying. So I love you guys so much. Thank you for being here. Don't forget to like and subscribe, share the video, check out our socials. We are way more active on there, but I promise I will be active on here. Thank you so much for watching, and I know this is probably going to be a really long video, but love you guys, and I hope I answered all your questions.